Up on Full Sail Live.
Madison Keys, you are a Grand Slam champion. Again, it's a second for Sinner down under.
We'll break down Madison Keys' career redemption arc to win her first major. Discover how Jannik Sinner's back-to-back Australian championships puts him in rarefied company. Plus, the countdown to the Super Bowl Sunday is on. We'll share the Eagles need to do to dethrone the Chiefs' quest for a three-peat. All that and more coming up now on Full Sail Live. Welcome to Full Sail Live. I'm Denver K. The 2025 Australian Open did not disappoint. From stunning upsets to record-breaking performances, the first major of 2025 will be remembered because of its two winners. To help us break down the men's and women's championships, let me bring in our sports reporter down in Melbourne, Randy Silver. Randy, now let's start with the women's champion, American Madison Keys. At 29, she finally won her first major. Why was this so impressive?
Denver, Madison Keys' win was so impressive for two reasons. One, her backstory. And secondly, she overcame a brutal draw to win it all. Keys, the number 19 seed, beat world number 1 and two-time defending champion Aryna Sabalenka in a three-set instant classic. The final was her fifth three-set win at the tournament, the most ever in a single Australian Open. It almost felt like this day would never come for the tennis prodigy. In 2015, at 19 years old, Keys faced world number 1 Serena Williams in the Aussie semis, losing in straight sets. Even though she lost, this was the teenager's coming out party to the tennis world. Since then, the American has reached 2 other major semifinals and 1 major final. However, she never brought home the hardware. Keys openly spoke about self-doubt if she would ever win the big one. 10 years later, on the same court she broke out on the world stage, the redemption arc was complete.
I'm mostly just really proud of myself to get back to this position and be able to play the way that I played and finish on such a strong note. I'm just really proud of myself, and I didn't always believe that I could get back to this point, but to be able to do it and win is just, it means the world to me.
Denver, Keys' path to victory overcame a brutal bracket. Remember, she was the 19 seed. To win her first major, the American knocked off 4 top 10 seeds. It's a feat tied only by Yvonne Goolagong, who defeated 4 top 10 seeds at Wimbledon in 1980. While Keys won most of her matches decisively in long matches, the champion of the men's bracket, Jannik Sinner, cruised his way to back-to-back Australian Open championships. The Italian never went to a decisive 5th set in his Australian Open run. Starting with the quarterfinals, the 23-year-old swept his way to his second straight Aussie title. Sinner did this all with a major cloud of distraction hanging over him. For the past year, Sinner has been dealing with steroid allegations. He initially tested positive before it was overturned by an independent court. The World Anti-Doping Agency appealed the decision, with his case going to court in April. With this situation looming over the world's number 1 ranked player, the now 3-time major winner is proud of his achievement.
Well, it was an amazing performance from my side. Felt like I was, in the beginning of the match, I was serving really well and trying to get into the zone very fast. All things considered, amazing run again here in Australia. I'm extremely happy, and sharing this with the team here and family and the people I love. It's amazing.
Sinner's win puts him in rarefied air. Denver, listen to this. He extends his record for most majors won by an Italian man from 2 to 3. Sinner also passed one of his idols, Roger Federer, for consecutive sets won against top 10 opponents. When told about this at his press conference, all Sinner could do was smile and say, "That's pretty cool."
Well, thanks, Randy. And depending on how the trial plays out for Sinner in April, he will hope to complete the career Grand Slam by winning the French Open in May and Wimbledon in June. Coming up, Saquon Barkley and the Philadelphia Eagles offense is soaring. Find out what key stat Philly needs to win that could decide the Super Bowl. Don't go anywhere. Full Sail Live will be right back. Welcome back to Full Sail Live. For the second time in 3 years, we have the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs playing for the Super Bowl. The Chiefs won Super Bowl 57, which started this run of going for a three-peat. Now let's welcome back Randy Silver to the show. Randy, the Eagles look to stop the Chiefs from becoming the first team to win 3 Super Bowls in a row. What must the Eagles do well to leave New Orleans with a win?
Denver, they must win the time of possession. It's something they've done well all season. The Eagles ranked number 1 in the regular season for time of possession. In 2023, they ranked 13th. A major reason they went from being in the middle of the pack to the best in the NFL is the upgrade of Barkley in the backfield over the offseason. The former Penn State running back became the 9th player ever to rush for over 2,000 yards in the regular season. These playoffs, he hasn't slowed down. In 3 games, he's averaging 147 yards per game rushing. If the Eagles continue to feed the 3-time Pro Bowler, it's proven to be a recipe for success. A byproduct is the bad man Patrick Mahomes not on the field. Denver, anytime the 3-time Super Bowl MVP is not commanding the Chiefs' offense, is a win for the other team.
You know, I'd have to say Barkley's first year as an Eagle could not have been scripted any better. His stellar regular season earned him his first All-Pro team. But Randy, we know that all running games start with a great offensive line. The NFL's best front is coming in with some injury concerns at that position. So what exactly is their status of their O-line?
Denver, right now, multiple pillars of the Eagles' offensive line are questionable to play in the big game. Starting center Cam Jurgens has a bad back, and starting guard Landon Dickerson is dealing with a knee injury. They have been vital pillars on the O-line for the second-ranked rushing team in the league this past season. Earlier in the week, Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni said he didn't have much to update regarding either Jurgens or Dickerson's availability for the Super Bowl. Jurgens did say after the NFC Championship game that he expects to play. Dickerson wasn't available for comment. Looking at the playoff stats, Philly has the advantage in rushing and stopping the run. KC has been decent at rushing, but their defense has given up close to 150 yards of a game on the ground. They're about to face a Philly rushing attack that is a major step up against what they have seen against the Texans and the Bills. Even if Jurgens or Dickerson can't play, it's a good bet the Eagles' game plan will continue to be pound the rock on the ground.
Man, those are some pretty eye-catching stats there. But Philadelphia has to like the tasty matchup that they have on the ground. So then, Randy, what can the Chiefs' defense do to try to limit the Eagles' ground game?
Denver, it will be very interesting to see what defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo does against this Eagles offense. Spagnuolo's complex defensive schemes and penchant for blitzing at the right time has been crucial to the dynasty run. We saw this play out on the Bills' final offensive play of the game last week, when Spag brought a corner blitz that led to a turnover on downs. The Eagles offer a different obstacle the Chiefs haven't seen all season. Barkley's running, the mobility of QB Jalen Hurts, and the dynamic weapons at receiver are all nightmare for defensive coordinators. It won't be easy, but containing Barkley and forcing Hurts to beat them will be huge for the Chiefs. Since Spag became the Chiefs' defensive coordinator in 2019, his defense hasn't given up more than 89 yards to a single rusher in any playoff game. Spagnuolo knows how to take away the opposing offense's biggest threats, and he'll have to do it one more time if the Chiefs won a three-peat. In Denver, let me leave you with this stat. There have been 19 players who have rushed for 100 yards in the Super Bowl. In 19 games this season, Saquon Barkley rushed for 100 yards 14 out of 19 games. It will be a fascinating chess match to see next weekend.
Thanks, Randy, for the insights. And as a friendly reminder, Super Bowl 59 will be next Sunday, February 9th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Coming up, the UFC heads back to Saudi Arabia this weekend. Combat Sports writer Michael Silver joins the show to share what former middleweight champion Israel Adesanya needs to do to break in its 2-fight losing streak. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.